We are currently in the village of Ban Pho in the Bac Ra region. Here, it's a pretty ordinary village, but I'd really like to show you something truly important for the Hmong people in this region, building stone constructions like this. So the stones, they use them, stacking them one against another like this to make walls, to build all sorts of things. And between the small rocks like this, there is no material holding them together. But they've remained very solid for a long time. And also, as you can see, there are still some truly typical and old houses of this minority ethnic group in the region, the Hmong, with wooden walls. And for a long time now, they've often used the roof. The roof is made with fiber cement. And all around the house, you can clearly see, you can also see that there is a lot of dead wood. So that's the material, combustible material that they've gathered from the forest to cook and make fires. That's how it is. And then there's also something really important and interesting, the big jar. It's over there. Look, there it is, the big jar. It's right there. It's made of concrete, of cement. And here, it's not because the families around here invested to have this. This was provided by the state. It was given by the state. It's because when they lived up here in the mountains at an altitude of over 1,000 meters, they didn't have much drinking water. That's why, to improve the health of the population, the state gives them money to do this, to put drinking water in there, of course. But where does the drinking water come from? It comes from the mountain, of course, from natural resources. For example, pipes like these, they will bring water from the top of the mountain over there to bring the water all the way here. But then after that, another pipe like this one to bring it all the way down to the house. There you go, that's it. So this way they can easily have running water to use for their daily life. And then besides that, normally in the villages of Hmong, the houses are scattered along the mountainside, but here they are quite grouped together with mutual assistance. It's for working in the mountains, it's to overcome difficulties in their daily lives. That's how it is. And besides that, did you see over there? There are also children who still stay at home. There is no daycare, nothing at all. But the very young children play together like that, in the shade, next to the house. Simply like that, that's their daily life. And the very little ones like that can play perfectly well on their own. They don't need a guardian, an adult to watch over them. That's it. Wait, you mean the two girls? Well, that would be me. So, what's your name, if you don't mind me asking? Vi, what's your name? Duyen? Duyen? Ah, well, that is actually quite good. Wait a second, is that really you? Ah, tell me, what is your name? Long. Now, that is a really good name. Long, Vi, and Duyen. But wait, where exactly is he right now? Oh, I see. He already went back home. Ah, okay. There you go. That's how it is. You can easily interact with the children, and they're really very, very open too. You can easily ask questions, and you can get really very, very personal answers. Her name is Vi. Her name is Jiwan. Jiwan means charm. And Vi, it's the name of a flower, a little flower that is really very beautiful and fragrant. And the other one, his name is Long, which means dragon. There are no toys, there is nothing. There is no playground, nothing for children, there is nothing. But then the children, they live like this with nature, with the forest all around them. And that's why. But there are not actually very many different types of illnesses. Not many illnesses. They went barefoot like this with clothing that was a bit of a mix between traditional dress and the modern clothes children wear today. There you go, like that. The adults have all gone to the fields to work. That's it. All right, so we're going to go through here just a little bit. There are no parents at home, But right at the entrance of the house, there's still some buffalo dung left. And right next to it, there's also a kind of stable to keep the animals inside. And the manure, they've stored it over there to fertilize the land. It's like in many other houses, there's always this kind of thing. It's to keep things cool. And the concrete courtyard for us too is used to dry all kinds of seeds like corn, rice, and so on. And then for that, in the family, in the house, it's like the house we already visited yesterday with a kind of red cloth like that. It's to prevent bad spirits that could easily enter the house. And inside, the most solemn part in the middle is the altar for the family's ancestor worship. There you go. That's how it is. The little corn kernels, I think it's not for drying them, but to feed the roosters and hens like that. There's the large jar for storing drinking water. On the Vietnamese border with China right next door. So the small river nearby is the Nam Di River. It's a resource. At first, it provides water to the Red River on the other side. That means at the end of this small river, it's the Red River, and the Red River starts to flow across the territory on Vietnamese territory from here all the way to the sea. There you have it. And the Red River obviously became the river sea of the rice civilization, of the flooded rice fields in northern Vietnam. And on both sides, you can easily find over there the Ho Kio Bridge. It's a bridge that was built by the French during the colonial era. It was meant to connect the city of Hanoi with the city of Yunnan in China. And then on this side, after 1998, after the 1990s, once the normalization of Sino-Vietnamese relations had already taken place, we built this bridge. It was so that people on both sides could easily travel from one side to the other, from one country to the other. And it has obviously become the bridge that connects the two countries, China and neighboring Vietnam. But there you have it, with the bridge, the little river, the Red River, and the temple nearby. So it's not only a truly important tourist site, but it's also something very, very significant. What is it? It's that all sorts of things are done here for the assertion of Vietnamese territorial sovereignty nearby, of the Chinese territory next door, next to China. And for the journey through the northwestern part of Vietnam, we will stop here in a small town. In this area is the town of Lao Cai. And the town of Lao Cai is a small border town. On the other side, it's already China, so you can easily see that. And we are right next to the border marker here. It was installed here in 2001. But yes, it's because in Sino-Vietnamese relations, there was a period that was really very, very tough. That was the period from 1978 to 1991. So it was a major border war. That's how it was. But since 1991, the relationship between China and Vietnam has already been largely normalized. and it took us almost 10 years of negotiations in order to be able to sign an agreement on the shared border between the two countries. And then from the year 2000 to 2008, we installed along the entire length over 1,400 kilometers of the shared border, the Sino-Vietnamese border markers like this. This is to clearly distinguish Vietnamese territory. And then besides that, the border crossing point between the two countries is like this. But what matters most is that we are going to visit a temple. It's the temple of the Mother Goddess. So, a temple, it's already been built here since the 14th century. It's for the worship of the Mother Goddess, Le Ong Hai. And the Mother Goddess, Le Ong Hai, is a Mother Goddess. As I told you, it's the worship of Mother Goddesses in our country. It's an authentic indigenous Vietnamese belief recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And it's like in Hanoi, another temple like this. So we've already visited one in Hanoi, but here it's the same as well. So you can see right away here the typical Vietnamese architecture of this temple, with the roofs, the 8 overlapping roofs, and the 4 corners that curve slightly up toward the sky, decorated with all kinds of images representing the 4 seasons of the 4 sacred animals, the dragon, phoenix, unicorn, and turtle. And then, in addition to that, there are also the 4 noble plants according to Taoists and Vietnamese popular belief. And today, we were lucky enough to catch a little glimpse of the ceremony, a kind of ritual rite to offer the prayers of the people who come here to pray, to seek help for prosperity, happiness, and also for health, dedicated to the mother goddesses in this temple. So, as I already mentioned, the temple is dedicated not only to the goddess, Le Ho Han, who is one of the 4 immortals of Vietnamese immortality, but it is also the worship of the 4 palaces, the sky, the forests, and the earth. There you have it, that's how it is. So now let's go and see what's inside this temple to see what it's like. Here, this is the inner spiritual life of the Vietnamese people. But building a temple here is not only for spiritual life, it's also to firmly assert Vietnamese sovereignty next to China. That's how it is. So we always have this kind of practice. So this belief has already been deeply rooted in the lives of the Vietnamese people for a very long time. But what matters most, as I told you earlier, is to firmly assert the power, the sovereignty of Vietnamese territory next to our neighbor, which is China. All right, so now I invite you to follow me to visit the inside of the temple,